Ever feel like you're throwing money away every time you visit the gas station? We all want to save fuel, but what if I told you that some of the most common fuel-saving tips are actually costing you money? There's a ton of misinformation out there, from old wives' tales to slick marketing gimmicks. So, buckle up because we're about to debunk 9 fuel myths, using science, not hearsay, and save your money. Let's begin with a myth that's been around for ages, the idea that switching off your AC is the key to saving gallons of gas. The logic seems simple enough. The AC uses power, which comes from the engine, and therefore burns more fuel. While partially true, it ignores a major factor: aerodynamics. The AC compressor does put a load on the engine. It's driven by a belt connected to the crankshaft, compressing refrigerant, a process requiring energy. However, driving with the windows down, especially at highway speeds, significantly increases aerodynamic drag. Your car is designed to slide through the air smoothly. Open windows disrupts the flow, creating turbulence and resistance. The Society of Automotive Engineers, or SAE, along with other research organizations, has thoroughly investigated this. Their findings consistently demonstrate that at speeds above 45 to 50 miles per hour, the drag caused by open windows often uses more fuel than running the air conditioning. The engine has to work harder to overcome this resistance, negating any potential savings from turning off the AC. At lower city speeds, the difference is often negligible. So, AC isn't always the fuel villain it's made out to be. But what about the classic debate between manual and automatic transmissions? This brings us to our second myth: the persistent belief that manual transmissions are inherently more fuel efficient than automatics. This was largely true in the past. Older automatics were inefficient, with fewer gears and slushy torque converters that wasted energy. But automotive technology has advanced significantly. Modern automatics are incredibly detailed. Continuously variable transmissions, for example, don't have fixed gears at all. They use a system of pulleys and a belt, providing an almost infinite range of gear ratios. This keeps the engine operating at its most efficient RPM for any given speed and load. Many conventional automatics now feature 8, 9, or even 10 speeds, far more than the typical 5 or 6 speeds in a manual. More gears mean the engine can stay in its sweet spot more often, boosting fuel economy. And to top that, computer-controlled shifting in modern automatics is often more precise than even the most skilled driver's manual shifting. The Transmission Control Unit, or TCU, analyzes various factors like throttle position, vehicle speed, engine load to determine the optimal shift points for maximum fuel efficiency. Many modern automatics outperform manuals in fuel economy tests. Always check the EPA fuel economy ratings for the specific model you're considering. From transmission types, let's shift gears to a myth involving the time you buy gas. Our third myth is a persistent one: the idea that you should fill your tank in the morning because colder gasoline is denser, thus giving you more fuel for your money. The underlying scientific principle that liquids expand and contract with temperature is correct. However, the practical application of this to refueling is where the myth falls apart. Gasoline is stored in large underground tanks that are well insulated from daily temperature variations. The temperature of the fuel in these tanks remains relatively constant, regardless of the air temperature above the ground. A slight temperature difference between morning and afternoon isn't enough to noticeably change the volume of gasoline dispensed. The thermal expansion coefficient of gasoline is approximately 0.00095 per degree Celsius, or 0.0053 per degree Fahrenheit. Even a 20-degree Fahrenheit temperature difference would result in a volume change of less than 1/10 of a gallon for a 15-gallon fill-up, an insignificant amount in terms of cost. Speaking of cost, let's address a myth about the type of fuel you put in your tank. Myth number 4 concerns the widespread belief that premium fuel is inherently better and will boost performance and efficiency in any car. This is an expensive and common mistake. Premium fuel has a higher octane rating than regular gasoline. Octane rating measures a fuel's resistance to detonation, also known as knocking or pinging. Detonation is the uncontrolled premature combustion of the fuel-air mixture in the engine's cylinders. It can damage the engine and reduce performance. High-performance engines, often featuring turbochargers or high compression ratios, are designed to require premium fuel. The higher octane prevents detonation under these demanding conditions. However, most standard cars are designed to run optimally on regular gasoline, typically 87 octane. The engine's computer is calibrated for this octane level. Using premium fuel in a car that doesn't require it offers no performance or fuel economy benefits. You're essentially paying extra for a characteristic your engine can't utilize. It won't magically add power or make your engine more efficient. So, if most cars don't need premium fuel, why does it even exist? Is it all just a clever marketing scheme by oil companies to get us to spend more? Let's dig a little deeper. Different octane ratings exist because different engines have different requirements. High compression and turbocharged engines, commonly found in performance vehicles, generate greater heat and pressure inside the cylinders. This makes them more susceptible to detonation. Premium fuel with its higher octane rating is specifically formulated to resist this premature ignition. Using regular gasoline in these engines can lead to knocking, reduced power, and potential engine damage. Always consult your owner's manual for the recommended fuel type. Now that we've clarified the octane question, let's tackle a myth about how you start your engine. But wait, before we move on to number 5, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you like this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. Imagine what we could accomplish if everyone subscribed. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, is it done? Great, thanks so much. Now, back to the video. Our 5th myth is a relic from a bygone era of automotive technology, the notion that you must let your car idle for several minutes to warm it up before driving, particularly in cold weather. This practice originated with carbureted engines. Carburetors, which predated electronic fuel injection, were less precise in delivering the correct fuel-air mixture, especially when cold. A warm-up period was often necessary for smooth operation. Modern cars, however, utilize electronic fuel injection or EFI. EFI systems have sensors like the coolant temperature sensor and oxygen sensor that constantly monitor engine conditions and adjust the fuel-air mixture accordingly. Idling a modern car for an extended period is not only unnecessary, but also detrimental. It wastes fuel, contributes to air pollution, and can even increase engine wear. Modern engine oils are formulated to flow effectively even at low temperatures, providing immediate lubrication. The most efficient way to warm up a modern engine is to drive gently, avoiding rapid acceleration and high speeds until the engine reaches its normal operating temperature, as indicated on the temperature gauge. From engine warm-ups, let's consider a related component, the air filter. Myth number 6 states that a dirty air filter will drastically reduce your fuel economy, while a clean air filter is important for overall engine health. Its impact on fuel efficiency in modern cars is often overstated. The air filter's purpose is to prevent dust, dirt, and debris from entering the engine. A clogged filter restricts airflow, which could theoretically lead to decreased fuel efficiency. However, modern cars are equipped with sophisticated engine management systems that compensate. A mass airflow or MAF sensor measures the amount of air entering the engine. If airflow is restricted due to a dirty filter, the MAF sensor detects this, and the engine control unit adjusts the fuel delivery to maintain the correct air-fuel ratio. While a severely clogged filter can eventually affect performance and fuel economy, the effect on modern cars is often less dramatic than commonly believed. The ECU adapts to the reduced airflow to a certain extent. Nevertheless, a dirty air filter can still negatively impact engine performance and should be replaced according to the manufacturer's recommended service schedule. It's more about maintaining optimal engine operation than drastically increasing miles per gallon. Let's move on from individual components to consider the overall size of a vehicle. Our 7th myth is the seemingly intuitive assumption that smaller cars always achieve better gas mileage than larger ones. Less weight to move equals less fuel consumed, right? It's a general trend, but not an absolute rule in today's automotive world. Advances in engine technology, aerodynamics, and materials have blurred the lines. Technologies like turbocharging, direct fuel injection, variable valve timing, and lightweight materials like aluminum, carbon fiber allow manufacturers to produce larger vehicles with surprisingly good fuel efficiency. A modern mid-sized sedan or even an SUV with a sophisticated engine and aerodynamic design might attain better fuel economy than an older, smaller car with a less efficient engine. The EPA fuel economy ratings are the most reliable guide, not broad generalizations about vehicle size. Engine design, transmission type, and aerodynamic efficiency play a much larger role than size alone. From vehicle size, let's discuss products that claim to enhance fuel economy, regardless of your car. Myth number 8 revolves around the multitude of fuel additives that promise miraculous improvements in fuel economy. The automotive aftermarket is overflowing with these products, making bold claims about boosting MPG and cleaning your engine. The reality is typically far less impressive. Most gasoline already contains detergents and additives designed to maintain a clean fuel system. Adding more miracle additives is often redundant and provides minimal, if any, benefit. Some additives might help clean a severely neglected fuel system, but the improvement in fuel economy is usually marginal. However, there are specific types of fuel additives that can be beneficial in particular circumstances. Fuel injector cleaners can assist in removing deposits from clogged injectors, especially in older vehicles. Fuel stabilizers can prevent gasoline from degrading in vehicles that are stored for extended periods, like classic cars and boats. But for most modern cars driven regularly, these additives are unnecessary. The best approach to maintaining good fuel economy is to use high-quality gasoline, adhere to the manufacturer's maintenance schedule, and practice fuel-efficient driving habits. Finally, let's debunk a driving technique that some believe conserves fuel. Our final myth, the idea that shifting to neutral at red lights or during brief stops saves fuel. The logic seems plausible, the engine isn't under load, so it consumes less fuel. However, this is incorrect for modern vehicles with automatic transmissions. Modern automatic transmissions are designed to be efficient even when the vehicle is stopped in drive. The engine's idle speed is carefully controlled by the ECU, minimizing fuel consumption. Shifting into neutral and then back into drive repeatedly can actually increase wear and tear on the transmission over time. It also introduces a potential safety hazard. If you need to accelerate quickly to avoid a danger, you'll lose precious seconds shifting back into gear. The most effective way to save fuel at stops is to minimize stopping. Anticipate traffic lights, coast to a smooth stop, and avoid abrupt braking. These driving techniques will have a significantly greater impact on your fuel economy than manipulating the gear selector. And there you have it, 9 prevalent fuel myths debunked with a solid foundation of science and engineering. We've separated fact from fiction, highlighting how modern automotive technology has transformed the landscape. The key takeaway? Many of the old tricks for saving fuel are outdated or simply ineffective. Trust the engineering of your vehicle, follow the manufacturer's recommendations, and adopt fuel-efficient driving habits. You'll save money, safeguard your car, and perhaps even impress your friends and family with your newfound knowledge. Share any other fuel-saving myths you would like addressed in the comments section. Hit the like button and subscribe if you benefited from this video.